It's a windy old day on the plot today. I'm going to give you a quick tour of the allotment at the moment. After the big freeze that we had at the beginning of the month, a lot of things didn't make it, but let's just see where we're at. Then I'm going to do some tidying up as well. I want to tidy up around my brassicas because I don't want any slugs and snails and things eating them. Well, I mean, they probably will, but at least I'm not going to contribute to that. So let's go. Here we are. So since doing my vlogs, I have got another piece of land, and that is where those three tunnels are, really, with the mesh on them. So I just want to show you what's going on here in this area here with this kind of rusty structure over the top are my autumn fruiting raspberries, and I've got two big verbascums in there, as you can see. The autumn fruiting raspberries, I did have 3 rows of them, but the row in the middle, right down the center, died. I got some kind of rot onto that, so I have to get some more this year. Where will we head first? Let's head this way first. This is what I'm going to clear up today underneath this tunnel. So these are my spring cabbages under here, and they're doing really, really well. But I need to just do a little bit of work because I can see that things are munching away at them, and I've just got to check the centers of them to make sure there are no slugs in the center of them. Here we go. Here's the beetroot disaster that I had. So this beetroot here is actually the good beetroot. This is the Detroit, and it was actually Detroit 2 beetroot. Over in that bed there, where you can see I've been pulling up beetroot, they all got really, really soggy after the frost, so that was no good. But just there I have my parsnips, and they were spectacular this year. Let's head on down this way. Here I've got some kind of very ropey looking leeks. They're not that great, but I'm going to leave them in and use them as and when. I've got some more beetroot that I pulled up here, again very soggy. There's the parsnips that I'm telling you about. So the tops of the parsnips die off, but underneath they are beautiful. Let's have a look. Look, there we are. Can you see? Yes. Oh, they were just fabulous. Here we have 2 black currants. I've kept these in because they are massive, these black currants, and really delicious. I have a gooseberry just there as well. Here, okay, celeriac. Celeriac has been pretty good this year. It was better than last year. The tops went a little bit, you can see from the frost, but look at that. That's a good size. So they have to come up. Let me just feel that. Yeah, they're still hard. Behind there I've got some celery. Not looking that great, but if I go amongst it and pull all the old stuff out and the frosted stuff, I should be able to get something from there. Here we go. Under here, which I've cleared this bed already. I don't know whether you can see. Yes, you can see. I have some radicchio. They're all right. They're not great. I'm not expecting a great deal with that this year. Put them in too late. Let's go to the greenhouse. So the greenhouse I'm going to apologise for now, because I've done nothing, as you can see, in this greenhouse since the end of summer. I haven't really had to, because I haven't had anything to put in there. I'm just spying through the door. Look, you can see I had my tomatoes in here, I had peppers, I had cucumbers in here. The cucumbers were fantastic. We're going over here now. There's nothing in this area here. This is where the garlic was last year. You know, I mentioned in my last video that the garlic didn't do too well, and that was in there. But at the moment, there's not a great deal happening. Let's go back up. There's that celery. Look at this. This is a success. So this is land cress under here, and that's doing really well. So that's self-seeded, that land cress, and I did have some lettuce under there, but they've all gone. They're finished. So that is this plot. Now let's head over to the other plot. I have a path going down the center here. All right, The other plot has kale. I will show you those in a minute because I'm going to be clearing up around there. I had my Brussels down that end there, and they were a little bit disappointing. I think it was because everything was a little bit dry this year, so they were quite small. Down this end of this tunnel I had cauliflowers. I think we got 3 really decent sized cauliflowers, and then the rest were all frosted, so that was my fault. I didn't cover them properly. Here we have more kale. I will show you that in a minute. I've got some red cabbages and 1 Savoy cabbage. Let's go to the next one. The next bed is, this is my purple sprouting broccoli. Now, I really don't think I'm going to get anything from this. So I am going to sow some kale the beginning of January. And if this stuff does nothing under here, then it's coming out and the kale is going in there. I do have my perennial kale, which is looking beautiful, and I put a little bit of netting over it because the pigeons love it as well. This is called Taunton Dean, this perennial kale. At the end of this plot we have quite a lot of brambles coming up. I've got some alpine strawberries, and that there with those red stems, that is a wineberry. Right, so that's those 2. That's the purple sprouting. Here is my polytunnel. Now under this polytunnel, everything is dead at the moment, but under here I did an experiment. This is a little mini polytunnel. I did an experiment with cucumbers. I had some melons under there as well, and some squash, and they did really well. So this was the courgette bed. Needs a lot of work, and I have to get onto these weeds down here on the paths and put some wood chip down. That there is the end of the sweet corn. That did really well this year. Also, there's my shed on my new plot, which is great. Let's step over these dead courgettes. There's my pond, which needs a lot of work as well, but the froggies do like it, and so do the birds. Here I have my lovely little basket of herbs, and they're doing really nicely. 2 different times, and some rosemary on either side. And this here up against the fence was where the squash were, and they were again spectacular. I've got them all at home in the cellar. Gosh, the grass really needs a cut, doesn't it? I can't cut it because it's too wet. So that was the squash. So let's turn around. There's the composts. There's that greenhouse. Beautiful day, look. And that's the one plot, and that is the other plot. And I can see I have to do something with that hoop because it's flying around. All right, let's get to work. So I've opened up my first tunnel with the veggie mesh on top, and in here I have 2 types of kale. I have the Cavolo Nero, which is this one in front of me, and I have the Scarlet kale as well. Cavolo Nero is our favorite by far, and both of these are really tough. They will last out the frosts, they will probably last out snow as well. And so what I'm doing here is I am just going up the stems, I'll show you in a minute, and I'm just taking off all the old manky looking leaves. There's lots coming from the top still. This will eventually, as it warms up and gets lighter, it will start bolting, especially the scarlet kale, but I'm going to replace that because I'm going to start sowing some more scarlet kale early in the year, in January, right at the beginning of January actually. Scarlet kale, it's absolutely beautiful, but it does tend to bolt quite quickly. So if you get in an early crop, like now in midwinter, is it midwinter? And you will get something in, say, April, May, and then it has to go because it will bolt. Cavolo Nero again, really good winter crop. What I find is the hardiest ones that won't bolt when it starts to warm up and get lighter are the curly kales. I don't have any curly kale here at the moment because I didn't put any in for the winter, but I will be sowing those as well. And I'll show you all as I do it. So let's have a look at this lovely kale in front of me and what I'm doing to rejuvenate it. So here it is. 2 scarlet kales there. This beautiful Cavolo Nero. Look how it grows from the center. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I've got some more here, which is great. And all I'm doing is I am going down the stems, as you can see just here. This one's not too bad, but I'll take that off anyhow. And I'm just doing that, taking all these old leaves off. Here as well, you can see I'm going to take that one off. I just kind of twist it off and pop it in my trug next to me, and then it will keep growing from the center. If you're going to harvest kale, try not to take out this center bit, because if you take out that center bit, that's the end of it. I always harvest from the bottom, and I'll take leaves like this. This is a beautiful looking leaf, and go up the stems. As you can see, these stems, they're a little bit like tree trunks. And it's the same with the scarlet kale. These ones are all looking a little bit as your father. They're all coming off like that. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. Anything that's kind of dead on the ground, you can see there's some scarlet kale leaves in the ground. They're going to come out and as well. There we are. So this beautiful thing here is called Candy Crush. I've only got one of these kales, and it did get hit a little bit by the frost, I can see, but luckily I have these 2 monsters growing over the top of it, and this kale is called Midnight Sun. Look at how gorgeous this is, and no frost damage at all. So this is the one to grow, folks. Definitely. When I put these in, I've forgotten what they were, and I thought that they were purple sprouting broccoli, but they are this fabulous kale, and I'm going to take some of this home. I'm hoping that this little one here will be okay. I think it will actually. It looks okay, but I just want to show you what isn't okay, and that is my cauliflowers. Oh, and there's a brussels in there. Oh, so word of warning, if you've got days of -5 to 8 degrees, cover your broccolis and cauliflowers. I've got one little kale there that's not looking too good, and another one there that's not looking too good, the scarlet kale. But I'm going to just take all the stuff off, the old stuff off these kales, and bring some home. Great. So here is my spring cabbage bed, and I haven't taken the cover off this at all. I've got quite a lot of weeds that I have to get through and get rid of them, and that, see that old leaf there, that's coming off the bottom as well. But I just want to show you inside. Very nice, no slugs in there. Very happy about that. There's another one there that I've already done. So these are going to be really good. I'm happy with that. I put down some mulch, as you can see in the center there. I get it from Rock Grow, and I love it, but the slugs and snails hate it. So it's a win-win for me. There we are. I have done the weeding in the spring cabbages, and they are looking fabulous. I have 2 that have got a rogue caterpillar in, but I couldn't find the caterpillar, so I'm hoping the caterpillar is gone. So there's one there, and then there's one down this other end here. They're the holy ones. So I'll show you how good it looks. There we are. We've got some nice spring cabbage. Looking forward to those ones, that's for sure. So I've come in the shed now because I'm ready to go home, and it's extremely windy. and a bit cold now. So I hope you enjoyed the little tour of my plot and all my goodies that I've got growing. I'm Susie from SusyBLiving, and if you want to keep up with me and my plot and my garden and my cooking, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and then you will always be told when I'm uploading videos. I'm going to do quite a few this year, so get ready for it. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.